What is up, Trust Troop? It is Trust to Impress, and I'm Baby BACK back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this beautiful, sleek, invisible ponytail. So if you are interested in seeing how I achieved this beautiful, protective style with this long, curly, luxurious hair, then stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I think that this sleek ponytail is a great protective style, but it does have quite a few steps to prep. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is just cleansing the hair that I'm going to use for the ponytail. Whether you're using the hair for the first time or not, you want to do this step. This is some pineapple curl hair that I bought from my local beauty supply store years ago. So it does have some leave-in conditioner and products in it. So I'm going to start off by rinsing those out. If you're using the hair for the first time, you want to make sure that you use a shampoo. Since I have already thoroughly shampooed this hair before when I wore it, I'm simply going to be using the Mielle Organics Co-Wash, and then I'm going to allow this hair to sit drenched in a plastic cap while I prep my own natural hair. So my hair has been neglected for about a week to a week and a half, I think, with the old wash and go. So I'm going to give it some good old TLC. And I start off by rinsing my hair and my scalp thoroughly. And then I'm using the TPH products by TARAJI HENSON. The first product that I used was her co-wash, and I really like it. If you would like to see my full review on that, I will have the video linked in the description box below where you can see that. However, this is just a co-wash, so I thoroughly get it through my hair and my scalp and rinse it out immediately. And then I also used her Make It Rain conditioner. So with that one, I actually used it as a deep conditioner, and I left it in my hair, put a plastic cap on top, and allowed that to sit in deep condition. The only thing that I will say that I definitely do not like about these products is the fragrance. The fragrance gives me old lady perfume vibes, almost like a white diamond smell or something odd. I can't really put my finger on it, but it has a very odd fragrance, almost like it's a perfume, but not a good popular one. All right, so after that deep condition, my curls pretty much came back to life. Now, while my hair is deep conditioning, I went ahead and went back and finished rinsing out that co-wash from the pineapple curl hair, the track hair. And this is just one bundle of hair, one full bundle of hair. And I want to say it is 18 or 20 inches. It's not super long, but the ponytail itself is going to come out super long. The ponytail is going to end up looking more like 24 to 26 inches long. And that's because we're going to be using the invisible method, which is really cool. So next step, we have to dry the hair. Now, this is the quickest way to dry your bundles. I like to use a pants hanger, and I just hang the tracks up that way. If you allow the hair to dry flat, to me, it takes a very long time versus where you can have it hanging up and it can drip dry. So as I hung the tracks on the pants hanger, I detangled with a Denman brush, and I added some Lotta Body foaming mousse. And that was just to define the curls. You want to make sure that you put some type of product on your curls so that they stay defined. Even if you fluff the curls out in the end, which I did, you still want the curl pattern to pop and not just look like a bushy mess. Also, even though this is human hair, the curly texture tangles more easily than the straight hair. So that's another reason why you want to make sure that you have some type of product on the hair. After I finish pinning all of the hair up and putting the Lotta Body setting lotion on the hair, I actually set up a fan to dry the hair a little bit faster. So this process, if you let it air dry, takes about a day. You would need to leave it up overnight. But since I used the fan, by the time I finished blow drying my hair, the tracks were dry, which was perfect for the timing that I was working with. So now I just went through my natural hair. Of course, I rinsed out that TPH conditioner, and then I went through and sectioned my hair and blow dried it on a very, very low heat with very, very low tension. So you can see here that I'm using a wide tooth comb pretty much as my method of tension, which is not much at all. So I'm really not harming my curl pattern. Light heat and light tension is the key. And I also used a heat protectant on my hair, so that helped as well. And we don't need a really, really straight blow dry. I will say in hindsight that I think that the style would have come out a little bit more sleek if I did go ahead and blow dry my hair with tension as if I were about to flat iron it. But this worked out just fine because I was able to hot comb the roots of my hair very lightly. So of course, after blow drying, I went through and oiled my scalp thoroughly, and I applied some daily oil moisturizer on the ends of my hair just because my hair was feeling a little bit dry and brittle after the blow dryer, even though it was on low heat. So I'm not sure what all of that was about, but maybe I need to have a longer deep condition day just to treat my hair, because I do not want it to get dry and brittle and start breaking off. We don't have time for that. So you can see here that I'm taking small sections of my hair from the back portion, and I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing it down. I'm using an olive oil spray, and then I'm topping that off with the Got to Be Glued Freeze hairspray. And then I'm going to blow dry that in place. I went very, very light on the Got to Be Glued Freeze hairspray. Very, very light, because I've used this spray before to put on a lace front wig, and the next day my wig was so busted and crusted that I had to take it off completely. It was a horrible, crunchy, crusty, white, dusty mess. And I did not want to spend this much time on the ponytail and then not be able to wear it the next day when I woke up. So layering oil with products that flake does help with the flaking. In the future, doing this process, I would just use a gel. The first time that I ever did this hairstyle, I used a gel, and I think the product came out a lot better. I decided to try the freeze spray simply because I had it on hand, and I saw so many tutorials where girls were using this product for the sleek ponytail. My personal opinion, I would prefer my gel that does not flake. But hey, maybe I'll go back and try this style again and show you guys how I do it with just gel. And with each section that I use, I'm just using very, very small sections of hair, and I am adding the products, hot combing the roots only. I'm straightening the roots only, and it's not a hard press, just enough to lay the hair down so that once I get to the top layer, everything is nice and smooth and flat, and there's not a big bulky egg on the back of my head, because that is not cute. And I did have to be patient. This process took quite some time, and my arms were tired, but the finished product I think was well worth it. Another way to go about doing this is to flat iron your hair completely, which I think if I had flat ironed my hair, I would have been able to work in larger sections, but overall, it still would have taken more time if I had flat ironed it, because I would have been able to do the ponytail faster, but I would have had to go through the process of flat ironing my hair from roots to ends, and that's just a whole lot going on considering the length of my hair, and I was not in the mood for that. So most people do this process with the flat ironing step. I chose not to. I didn't want the extra heat on my hair, and I just wasn't feeling it. My hair is long, and it takes a long time to flat iron it. So my handy dandy pressing comb or hot comb worked very, very well. And I also, when I'm using my hot comb, I cycle it on and off so that it doesn't get too hot. Because what happens is it's not so hot in the back, and then once you get to the end of your job with your hair, it has heated up to the point where it's burning your hair off. And since it doesn't have a temperature control, I like to, once I see that it's getting really, really hot, I'll turn it off for a little bit while I work, and then I'll turn it back on before it cools all the way. So that way I kind of regulate the temperature. Okay, now for this part, I'm just working closer to the front, and notice that I'm leaving my edges out. I'm going to save my edges and do them last, so that way they have as little product on them as possible, since that's at the front of my head. And I'm just going to let you guys sit back, relax, and watch me finish out this ponytail. Once I get to the very top section is where I'm going to do a nice, crisp, defined part. And the comb that I use for that part is the key to getting a crisp part. I have actually gotten compliments, y'all, believe it or not, on my middle parts when I wear my hair pressed and when I wear this ponytail. Finally, the ponytail is finished. I thought the point would never come. My arms were tired and toned. So even though my arms were tired from doing the style, I did go ahead and do my edges. I used a soft toothbrush, and I did use a little bit of gel for this part along with the freeze spray. All right, now that we have the edges the way that we want them to be, it is time to braid this ponytail. And you can see the braid is a little bit thick. It's a little bit thicker than I expected because I did not press my hair straight and I did not really blow dry it straight. So when I did this style previously, my hair was a lot shorter and I blow dried it super straight. So I started to go back and re-braid the hair to make the braid a little bit tighter, but I decided, hey, let's not worry about it. Okay, for the ponytail, for attaching the tracks to the ponytail, this part is key. I am not using any type of glue. I am actually using these small half-size bobby pins. They are mini bobby pins that I found at Sally's Beauty Supply. I honestly have not seen these anywhere else, but be my guest and look for them at any other store. I got them years ago at Sally's Beauty Supply, and they are perfect for this style. So all you have to do is, this is very, very simple. You just start at the end of the ponytail and secure the end of the track with a bobby pin. And these bobby pins are super tight, so your hair is not going anywhere. That track is not budging. So after I wrap the track a few times around my braid, moving up as I go, I'll stop every few rounds and insert one of those mini bobby pins. And you have to make sure that you're wrapping the track super tightly around the braid, not loosely at all. If you leave the track loose, it will slip and slide and tracks will start to show, and this will be a whole mess. So you want to do this tightly and securely enough to where you can pull on the ponytail or someone else could pull on the ponytail and the tracks do not slip or slide. Now, where we're going to loosen up is when we get to the base. So you can do this part as tight as you want to do it because it's not pulling your hair in any way. Once we get to the base of the ponytail, we will give it a little bit of slack and use more bobby pins instead. And these bobby pins are so short that you can use a lot of them at the base of your ponytail without stabbing your scalp. So that's another thing that I really love about these bobby pins. And you have to stick each pin straight downward inside of the braid. So you don't want any of the pins to be sticking out where they can disturb you while you're sleeping or where they could be detectable. And the track does kind of tangle around itself a little bit. So that's what you see me fighting with right here, is just making sure that the track is flat. You do not want to put it around your hair all twisted and bundled up in different directions. You want to make sure everything is flat so that it can be as secure as possible. And honestly, the first time I did this style, I used a lot of bobby pins. This time, I really did not use a lot of bobby pins because when you go back to take it down, it's a lot more stressful the more pins that you've added in. So I only used what was absolutely necessary. I may have added 4 or 5 pins coming up the hair. And that was it. So now we're finally to the base, and you want to make sure that you take the tracks all the way up over the ponytail holder that you put there. And this process of starting at the end of the hair and moving up is what gives the illusion that this is your real hair. You don't have that thick base of the ponytail like we had back in the 90s. It's still small at the base, which is what you want. And it also gives the illusion that the bundles are a lot longer than they really are. So now I'm going to take a small section of the hair, wet it down with the freeze spray, like really wet it down, and it becomes moldable, and I'm just going to wrap it around the base of the hair. For that section, you can use a braid or you can use a thicker piece of hair than I did. I just went for my preference, and here's the finished product. I mean, it looked absolutely amazing. I did go back and fluff it out a little bit just so that it could look a little bit more natural. And you could brush this hair out so that it's nice and fluffy. You could back comb it and tease it. It does not tangle up very much at all. And I know some people like more of a fluffy look. I was going for more texture and more definition, and I absolutely love it. And one thing about wearing curly hair is you can always go back and switch up your looks. So I can always go back and brush this out and have a slightly different style. For maintenance, all I do is tie this hair down with a satin do-rag, and then in the mornings I apply the Mayo Organics Mint Almond Oil just to make sure that that shine is there and there's no flaking from the freeze spray. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, I have not forgotten about you guys and the giveaway. Someone is going to get an amazing Christmas surprise. The 1K giveaway is coming soon, so make sure that you are subscribed and you turn on your post notifications.